Hello everyone, welcome back to online lecture series on applied thermodynamics. We are continuing our topic of fundamentals of compressible flow. So as usual, we will revisit our previous topics first. In our previous topic, we started with Bernoulli's equation for adiabatic process. So here P divided by rho raised to K is equal to constant for adiabatic process. So here we obtained the value of integration dp by rho s k divided by k minus 1 into p by rho, and finally we obtained the Bernoulli's equation for adiabatic process based on that. Next we discussed about velocity of sound or pressure wave in a fluid. So we discussed about the disturbance in solids and fluids. So in solids the disturbance has higher speed than fluid because of the distance between two molecules. So here in fluids it depends on the how far the molecules are apart from each other. Then we started with expression for velocity of sound wave in a fluid. So we will continue from this figure in today's lecture. So here first of all we will copy this part. So let us revise this part, that in this theory we are going to derive the expression for velocity of sound in a fluid. So we have taken a simple piston cylinder arrangement in which a piston is kept inside a rigid pipe. So fluid is present inside this pipe. The piston is moved from left to right with a speed of capital V. So v is the velocity of piston or speed of piston, and here because of movement of piston from left to right, there is a disturbance is generated that is pressure wave is created, and this pressure wave moves with the velocity of sound capital C. So here the fluid particles will move with this velocity of sound, and they will travel through a distance L. The piston is traveling through distance x, while the pressure wave travels with the through the distance capital L, and this is the pressure wave front which is generated, and it is moving from left to right. So that was the description of figure that we did in our last lecture. Now let's see the nomenclature first. Cross sectional area of pipe, capital A, then V is equal to velocity of piston E is equal to pressure of fluid in a pipe before piston movement rho is equal to density of fluid in a pipe before piston movement dt is equal to small time interval through which piston is moved. C is equal to velocity of pressure wave in pressure wave or sound. Okay, so that is the description. Now let's quickly move forward with the next part, that is distance traveled by pressure wave in time dt is actually cdt, and distance traveled by piston in time ddt is x dt. Okay, so now if you see here, the fluid which was previously filled in length L before movement of piston, and now once we compress it, the compression is observed in this part, that is L minus X, that is this much of distance. This is, so here the fluid is compressed in this much of length, that is L minus X. Okay, so let's say that the increase in pressure, the final pressure is P plus dP, and the final density has increased to rho plus d rho. So now mass of fluid before compression is equal to rho A and L. I think everyone should be well aware of this equation, that density into volume will give us mass. So instead of volume we have capital A into L. Now the next is mass of fluid after compression, that is equal to rho plus d rho A into L minus X. So instead of here, see what we can do here, we will write down equal to here for rho AL, and here we will write down for this. So here we will have rho A instead of L. If you see, we can write down this L is equal to C into dt. C into dt, and here we have rho plus d rho a c dt minus L dt, which is equal to rho plus d rho a dt c minus L. So as per mass conservation law, these two should be equal. So in such case we need to equate this final equations. So rho a c dt, here rho plus d rho a dt c minus L. So here there are few terms which will be cancelled. So we are left with rho c is equal to rho c minus rho L plus c into d rho minus L into d rho. So this will go. We made a mistake here. Here it should be v dt, because x is equal to v dt. So rho v is equal to c into d rho minus v d rho. And see, velocity of piston is very less and d rho is very small, so this product will be neglected because it will be very small. To repeat this part, v is the velocity of piston which is low, and d rho is already very small number, so this will be neglected. So rho v is equal to c into d rho. So here let me reverse this. C into d rho is equal to rho v and next we will see here we will apply the impulse momentum equation. This will be the second part of this theory. Impulse momentum equation. So here net force on fluid is equal to rate of change of momentum. So net force on fluid we will discuss. Which is C. It is like P plus dP into A minus PA. Now from where this equation has arrived? The net force is given as the difference of pressures, that is P plus dPa is the initial force, final force minus PA was previous force, which is equal to mass per second into change in velocity. So here PA plus dPa minus PA is equal to total mass upon time multiplied by change in velocity. Okay, change in velocity we can write down directly, that is final velocity is capital V, initial velocity is 0 because initially fluid is at rest, so this will be cancelled. So now dP into A is equal to rho A L dt into V. So A will go. So here A will go. So dP is equal to rho, instead of L we can write down C dt upon dt into V. So dt will go. So now the value of C is given by dP divided by rho into V. So that is the second equation. So we are going to multiply these two equations here, that is, let's say this as equation number 1 and let's say this as equation number 2. So we will multiply equation 1 and 2. we will have c square d rho is equal to rho v into dp upon rho v. So rho v get cancelled, so we are left with c square is equal to dp upon d rho. That is, finally we can write down c is equal to square root of dp by d rho. So the velocity of disturbance or velocity of pressure wave or velocity of sound can be written as square root of ratio of change in pressure to change in density. So that is the final equation. So that is the end of this theory. Let's copy this work. So that is the end of that theory. And one more thing that we have already discussed in our first chapter, that is introduction. We will simply revisit that and write down the equation only. So the topic was velocity of sound in terms of bulk modulus. So the equation that we derived is C is equal to square root of K upon rho. You can revisit this chapter, the introduction chapter, where here C is velocity of sound, K is bulk modulus and rho is density. We have already proved this theory in our introduction chapter, so you can revisit this in our previous videos, and we are not going to discuss that here again. So you need to consider this as a part of self-study. And what we are left with here in this theory is velocity of sound for isothermal process and velocity of sound for adiabatic process, that we will be discussing in our next lecture. So in our next lecture we will be discussing about Mach number and its significance, Mach waves, Mach cone and Mach angle. So that is the end of today's lecture.